featuring an amazing array of vendors, speakers, authors, artists, crystals, healers, psychic readers, and more. Spirit Fest is your chance to explore and connect with others of like mind. Get all details, including our upcoming locations up and down the East Coast, also discounted admission, and more at spiritfestusa.com. Our next event is January 10th and 11th with special guests and special presentations, including psychic explorer, medium Mark Anthony, and also historical researcher, explorer, and author Jim Vieira. More details are coming to our website soon, and we look forward to seeing you at Spirit Fest in 2026.
Hi, I'm Susan from My Enchanted Path, where I create divinely guided candles, intention oils, soaps, and more that make your spiritual practice simple. No complicated rituals needed. The names may be playful, but every product is serious about helping you shift your energy. All fragrances are clean and safe, free from the major toxins no one wants in their home or on their skin. With a 5-star rating and over 100,000 customers, MyEnchantedPath.com is a place to find charming items for an enchanted life.
Join us for Spirit Fest, coming soon to a city near you. Spirit Fest is a metaphysical, holistic, and crystal expo featuring an amazing array of vendors, speakers, authors, artists, crystals, healers, psychic readers, and more. Spirit Fest is your chance to explore and connect with others of like mind. Get all details, including our upcoming locations up and down the East Coast, also discounted admission, and more at spiritfestusa.com. Our next event is January 10th and 11th with special guests and special presentations, including psychic explorer, medium Mark Anthony, and also historical researcher, explorer, and author Jim Vieira. More details are coming to our website soon, and we look forward to seeing you at Spirit Fest in 2026.
Hi, this is the Celtic seer, Barbara McGillicuddy, and you can find me at barbaramcgillicuddy.com or on YouTube at Metaphysical Awakenings with Barbara and Eric. As a medium and animal communicator, it is my joy to speak with people on this side and people who have crossed over to bring forth beautiful messages of love.
Florida has a great new option for healthy living. Our natural health expos were a hit last year, so 2026 brings more events around Florida. This special event offers health and wellness opportunities for people and pets. High-quality experts in well-being, healing, anti-aging, and natural living. Plus, you'll find speakers, demonstrations, and much more. What if Sanctuary wasn't just a place, but a way of living? Welcome to the Sanctuary Network, your weekly home for conversations that awaken the heart, heal the body, and inspire the spirit. I'm your host, Mary Ellen Popick, the creator of Spirit Fest and the Natural Wellness Expos. For 2 decades, I've been creating spaces, now creating a bold new broadcast for mind, body, and spirit, where seekers, healers, and teachers come together to share wisdom, laughter, and transformation. We've seen what happens when communities gather. People become enlivened. Now, through the Sanctuary Network, that same spirit is reaching you, wherever you are in the world. Each week, we'll sit down with thought leaders, authors, and everyday visionaries. We'll also shine a light on the grassroots voices of the Sanctuary Marketplace, the healers, vendors, and practitioners who make this movement thrive. This isn't just another show, it's your sanctuary, a space to pause, reflect, and reconnect with what matters most. So, take a deep breath, open your heart, and join me. Together, let's step into the sanctuary. Everyone to the sanctuary for mind, body, and spirit. We are live tonight, and we would love to hear from you if you would like to comment or call in, because we are here with one of our most favorite guests, Reverend Dr. Judi Weaver. Thank you so much for joining us.
So excited to be here. I like coming back, it's nice.
We always have so much fun when you're here too. And as I put in the description, we're going deep tonight.
Okay.
We're just gonna go right in. no matter what level of spiritual practice I think people are in, I think everybody's going to be able to relate to the things that we talk about. Our topic is about, the nudges, the guidance, the little, I like to call them little post-it notes from spirit that they might have left for us or that we may have left for ourselves. We can actually kind of discuss that. And then talking about how we can use them, especially at this time that we're in with the energies increasing and all of the things that are going on in the world that for our betterment, even though it seems chaotic, we can really reach higher levels of closeness with divinity, for lack of a better description, than ever before. I truly believe in this time that we are awake and that we can do this. So let me give everybody a proper introduction to Judi first. Reverend Dr. Judi Weaver is a highly regarded spiritual trance channel medium and doctor of metaphysics. She's a healer and shamanic practitioner. She's been working since the early 1990s. She's the founder of Heart for Souls, Inc., and coordinates spiritual growth through various modalities. She also organizes group travel to sacred lands for personal development. Through her trance channeling, she connects with divine entities, including God Source and universal light beings, bringing forth ancient teachings, guidance, healing, and profound individualized energies. So again, thank you for being with us. One of the things that is not mentioned in here that I have seen you do is channel those that have crossed over, not just the angelic realm, but literal humans that have crossed over. And at least one very cool thing that we talked about in a prior episode. So tell us a little bit about that. Do you do that in every session or often?
I will trans channel in every single session.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very often that I trans channel a loved one. Loved
Mm-hmm.
ones generally, they're always going through their own growth and development and metamorphosis. And so it's a different energy. I mean, recently I was just up in Lilydale, New York, and I had oh, who was it that came through? Edgar Casey was coming through there for some
Oh.
reason. Anyway, he
Mm-hmm.
was coming. And again, a different vibration, right? It was a
Mm-hmm.
person who was coming through in that vibration. And the thing that I do with my different classes is that I hold the energy
Mm-hmm.
and I invite in my students when they're in the particular class so that they too can feel in that vibration and energy. Well, when
Mm-hmm.
I'm trans channeling a person who has passed, then what was happening that particular day is I was getting an extreme headache and nauseous. And because the students were in that same vibration with me, four of the students were getting nauseous and having headaches. So again, it's not a right or a wrong, it's just a different vibration that comes in. So
Mm.
generally, I will always mediumistically bring in all of the different information and guidance. And it's just that I'm listening. It's not that they're actually incorporating into me.
Mm-hmm.
However, sometimes, if it's like a child or a parent that's like a really super important thing, sometimes they kind of slide in and I let them slide in for
Mm-hmm.
short periods of time. But yeah, I generally just stay with a different vibration of energy because I've worked really hard to be able to be in that different vibration, which that's something that's really important for people to know that when
Mm-hmm.
you're moving into the spiritual world, and you're practicing and your physical body is going through those different experiences and you're going to
Mm-hmm.
feel it, you're going to sense it, and you need to practice in it and you need to be able to manage and maintain those energies that you're working with as well. So
Right.
it's a lot of self-care. It's being mindful as to what you're doing. It's making sure that you're drinking a lot of water and that you are working in a partnership with
Mm-hmm.
those different beings and things like that that are
Right.
coming in and out. But I absolutely love what I do. And it feeds and delights me over and over and over. And no, it is not something I ever could have anticipated that was what I was going to be doing in my life. When I grow up, I'm going to be.
So you talked about how you have to um be it's almost like a workout when you're channeling like that. And I know there's a lot of things you need to be careful about. So you don't want to get suddenly interrupted when you're channeling and things like that. But
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
oh yeah. No.
That's a big
No.
deal. That will completely jar you back out of it. And when you jar out that quickly, um, sometimes the energies don't switch in and out as well, and that can leave a residual it's almost like with somebody, making you jump when you're started,
Right.
right, and they come in
Right.
and they scare you to death, and then you might pee your
Right.
pants even. I mean, good Lord, it happens,
Yeah.
right? So it's that kind of a shock to your body, that it's like, oh my God, what just happened? So yeah.
The best way that I can explain it in my own terms is your circuitry. That your circuitry, we know how it is every day, but you're using, just a higher amp, a different voltage. I don't know, but, and then you're very careful when you are running that energy, when you are having that come in. But then if something happens to disturb you or something negative comes in or something like that, if you're not very careful, it could disrupt not going to kill you or anything like that, but it's not great. So,
No, it's
but
just shocking. It
right.
throws you off. And the thing
Yeah.
is, the reason why a physical touch is something is that we immediately go into fight or flight, right? Because I
Mm,
am still a human being. And so
right.
we have those physical instincts that if something happens, I mean, I don't necessarily have a lot of memory about what I say when I'm in trance, but I remember what the body is experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
I will recognize if it felt like it was a really pushed or squished energetic vibration, or if it was a really high pitch, and or
Mm-hmm.
if it was really deep, and or sometimes they will, hold my body in a particular position, that
Mm-hmm.
then I'm actually sore. When I come back, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, why do I have a crick in my neck? What was that all about?
Right.
Because it was
Right.
just a different vibration. And some of the beings, they don't really come in. It's almost like they send a beam of light, is the best
Mm-hmm.
way for me to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So they just send this energetic frequency vibration that comes in, and it's able to still utilize the voice. And some of the beings, when they come in, it's like they haven't had eyes before, or they
Mm-hmm.
haven't had ears before. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't had that human experience, and they find it absolutely fascinating.
Uh-huh.
And they also find it very curious how to be able to operate my mind, because they have access to the information within my mind, but they have to vibrationally work with what's in there. Not to
Mm-hmm.
say that I can't get information that's not in my mind, because that's where all the light language comes from, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
not something that's in me. It's just an attunement that is coming through me. But they do like to utilize what I have. And so it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, they're going to go to the library of Judi. And what's in the library of Judi and all my
Right.
life experiences? And they go
Uh-huh.
through all my stuff. And so then they will help to sometimes bring out stories and things like that while they're in trance as well. It's such a fascinating process.
It really is. One of the best descriptions that I've heard about what we're going through right now. And before I even say what that is, I will add at my I don't want to say advanced age, at my age, because I literally have been really studying this since I was 12. There was periods of time, years where I took off and really kind of set it aside, but that's really when I began studying. And one thing that I've learned is they always say something's going to happen. Something's right around the corner. Remember 2012, even 2000, this, astrological alignment, everything's going to be huge. But I've yet to see anything really just be dramatic. But I will say, having been doing this as many years as I've been doing it, I have never seen where people are able to hold much, much higher frequencies and be psychic like never before.
Yep.
This, I really feel like finally, after all this time, something really different is going on these days. And because the planet's ascending, we're ascending. And so William Henry, who I just love his work, he does a lot with Mary Magdalene. He also does tours and he goes to a lot of the more of the Christian sites, I think. But he said that it's not our bodies that are ascending. Our bodies are literally the vehicle for our spirits to ascend. And when you look at it in those terms, what you're describing, that's exactly it. So we have to keep the vehicle finely tuned, make sure that nothing gets it out of whack or whatever. But it is, and because that a lot of our experiences are stored in the brain. A lot of it is in our other brain, which is in our heart. But it is up there. And so where I was going with that, with now that we're running these higher frequencies, a lot of people, most of the people, I don't think are aware that we are now at an elevated time where we are running more higher frequencies and able to connect more closer to the divine. And it freaks them out, for lack of a better term. They're suddenly psychic, they're getting psychic information, or they're hearing voices. They think they might be going crazy. People are tired.
Yes.
I'm hearing everybody's needing to take a nap. And I don't think it's just from watching the news, and all this stuff that's going on. I really do feel like our bodies are just acclimating, similar to that mountain that's behind you, to being in that higher energy. But tell me your thoughts on that.
I completely agree all the way around with everything that you're saying. And I mean, we've got so many new chakra centers that are coming online. And one of the things that they were showing me and I've been talking about is, I mean, we always, most people know that you have your high heart and you have your causal chakra, which is back here. You've got behind your hips that are coming. But the part that they're really showing me now and talking about are around your actual head. So you have on the top of your head, you have your crown chakra, obviously here, and then above it is the Brahma. But this is actually, there's three more on each side. One,
Mm.
two, three. So it's like a halo, only they're not just of a single location. It actually is like this 3D model of energy that is specifically going around your head, because you are now moving into all of these other areas of the brain that we didn't use, that science didn't realize and recognize that was something that was going to come into play, that we were going to have access to. And that exhaustion is 100% what's happening. So I'm going to kind of throw you for a little curveball here, because I'm going to tell you about something that really came to me. Now in June, I was really going through that whole series of the water, right? And so 20 days, the angels were very specifically coming in. They were bringing in different realms of information that was changing all of the molecules of water, external, internal, everything going through an upgrade process. Well, what they really have continued to tell me is that we're going through all the elements now.
Oh,
Oh, so the month
yeah.
of July is all about air and getting in the different realms of information and the different vibrations and frequency that is specific within the element of air. For the month of August, we are specifically going to be going into light and fire. And as
Mm.
we are going into that particular element, it's bringing things to light and it's able to transform it. Now, let's go back and just think really quickly. Air and water, neither one of them have any kind of stagnation at all. Everything is moving, 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 flowing, flowing, flowing. So
Hmm.
everybody is being pushed into that hyper speed movement within that elevation and that ramping up, and that it's just that
Hmm.
whole initiation that they're moving up into. When we
Hmm.
get to September, they're telling me that September is all about the earth energies. And it's not just about grounding in the earth, it's about the earth cracking open and expanding into additional space, and that internal coming up and broadening the
Hmm.
expansion of accessibility within that earth resident. And then there's a fifth element that we're going to be going into, and that's in October when I'm in Peru, offering opportunities for people to join me too. Anyway, and
Hang on.
and
How
that,
do people find out more about that?
oh yeah, yeah, come to judyweaver.com. I'm really excited. I still have 6 slots. People had to change their schedule, so I ended up having some openings, and we're going to be going October 18th through the 24th. So I'm super, super excited about this.
Okay.
And again, this is Machu Picchu that's behind me. I thought it was appropriate to bring you to the mountains today so you could get a chance to feel it, because again, the energies are so important to be in that vibration and that connection.
Hmm.
But in the month of October, we're specifically working with the different metals, we're working with the energies, and we're working with the ethereal worlds. So this is about really grounding it, bringing it together. And what I love about going to Peru is there's all kinds of meteors everywhere. And it's
Mm.
so interesting. You walk around up on the mountainsides and you find meteors everywhere.
I
And
didn't
it's
know that.
because
Hmm.
the actual composition of the mountains attracts the meteors from space. So it has its own
Mm.
magnetic pull to be able to collect them in that location. So it's like
That's
we
interesting.
always find meteors because we're going to these sacred spaces and we're going to be holding all kinds of different ceremonies. And it's so fun to be able to identify one because everybody's got their phone, and in the phone there's like little magnets and thing, and
Uh-huh.
anything that's magnetized, then you know that it's a meteor. So
Uh-huh.
just another little fun fact. But
Huh.
anyway, this 5 month cycle that is
Okay.
going through, that again, it started what? After Three Eye Atlas. Again, Three Eye Atlas. That was a huge, I'm going to call it a rock. I'll just, a charged crystal is a better way
Mhm.
for me to put that. Okay.
Mhm.
It was a charged crystal to such a frequency that as it went through our entire galaxy, it was activating and alchemizing. By the time it got behind the sun, it
Mhm.
radiated into a whole different resonance. And how do we receive the best rays and informations and upgrades? It's all about the solar flares. And so it was on the backside, which then it could truly accentuate it to bring it in that much
Mhm.
more. Spirits
Mhm.
being very clear that we're actually going to have 12. That was our third, but we're going to actually have 12 through the end of 27. And we've had a couple of others that have already been coming in. And
Mhm.
so it's about paying attention to and recognizing that all of these are very specifically coordinated and organized. We're going to give them this. Okay, now we
Mhm.
have to upgrade them to this. It's turning up the dial, turning up the dial, turning up the dial. And through that process, we cannot hold all the densities of
Yes.
all of that trauma and drama.
Mhm.
Can't be in that space because that's the part that's making everybody crazy. You know,
Yes.
you hold on to that density and it
Yeah.
completely overwhelms you and it
Mhm.
suffocates you into that space where many people are just then getting horrific illnesses and checking out because they cannot manage and they're choosing not to be a part of that exchange and that transition. That is, you have to change. You cannot continue the way you were because there isn't the vibration of existence any longer.
So are you saying that that's the key right now to being able to elevate ourselves to a new level is to let go of everything that we do not need, that does not serve us, that's of that denser 3D level? What
You have to
about,
go into the emotions. You have to go into the shadow work. You've got to look at what are the traumas and the dramas? What are my patterns? What are the learned patterns that I received through my childhood, through my teachings, through my school that I
hmm
am carrying as the burdens of me,
hmm
ancestral trauma that we have learned from our families that
hmm
we're continuing to hold as our trauma that has nothing to do with us, that is completely creating it's almost like yeah, blocks, right? If you can't, you don't have the proper flow, so you've got all these different blocks that are coming into play and creating, then it creates more issues is what it's going to create. It's not even just, it can be physical issues, it can be
yeah,
emotional issues, it can be mental issues, it can be all the issues. Let's be real.
yeah, and I know, yeah, people that are just really set in the ways they believe what they believe and they're not open to the, I know they're really having a tough time. A little bit of it is about control and just not wanting to open to any new ideas. That's why that a lot of the chaos and the division I think is going on now. But my experience has been once you do start kind of that process, ooh, don't need that, let's get rid of this. Forgiveness, that's huge. And it's the most selfish thing you can do to forgive someone because it's so good for you. So,
The
um,
forgiveness,
mhm.
honestly, it's not about the other person.
No,
It's
no,
about allowing yourself to heal. It's
yeah,
about allowing yourself to be in that space of, I mean, this happened to me. This was a horrific situation, and
yeah,
no, I am beyond angry, but I'm not going to carry that? Why
Yeah.
do I want to leave the power in that person to still have that over me? Because I'm choosing to not forgive. And it's really forgiving yourself, because it's like, it's not always, it wasn't necessarily your fault. And so
Right.
let yourself be in the space of, it was a lesson. You learned a lesson, and it might not have been the best way to have learned whatever that lesson was, but
Right.
you did.
Right.
You did, and you survived it. And that's where your greatest strength comes from. That's where your greatest passions come from. That's where
Hmm.
your greatest purpose comes from. Are
Right.
the deepest hurts and the most traumatic experiences, because that becomes the driving force for you to go forward and to choose how you want to live in your life. Different.
Right. Right. And you do and that's part of why people I think may not like doing it is nobody likes doing it. Let's just be honest. But it getting started is half of the battle. It's like cleaning out the garage. You're dreading it, you've been putting it off for weeks, and then finally once you get started, you think, "Oh, this wasn't as bad as I thought." But you do need to poke at it a little bit. You do need to sit with it. You do need to go over it in your mind. Why does this bother me so much? Reviewing all of the things. Here's what I could have done differently, or here's how well I did, having to deal with the situation, things like that. Then you get to a point where you just don't need this anymore. You can just let it go. So it's not like you're praying for your guides to come in and take this away from you. It's not that easy at all. It's just doing the work, and that's literally what it is. That boils it down to a nutshell, right?
Absolutely. And you're going at it with new tools because
Hmm.
you're older, you're more mature. You have had other experiences that you can draw from. You can even go back and look at a situation, and then you can say, you know what, let me take a moment to look at this other person and where they were at in their life.
Hmm.
What else might have been happening? Yes, we've
Hmm.
been so caught in our emotional trauma of that moment, and I'm not negating whatever that was, but
Right.
it shows the maturity, and it allows you to really finish the processing of it when you are able to go back and say, yeah, what about that person? What else
Mhm.
might have been happening with it? And again, just being done with it. It's cleaning the house. It's taking the time. What do you want to bring forward into your life?
Yes.
Let go of the things that you don't
Yeah.
want to take with you. Everything in your house, the more things that you own, the more responsibilities that you have.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
so many light workers that I know have been experiencing real medical issues in the last 2 months, all kinds of medical issues.
Hmm.
And they also are definitely all feeling, pack your bags. You're getting ready to go.
Hmm.
Where are you going? I don't
Hmm.
know, but get ready, because here you go.
Right.
So it's about allowing the fluidity and the flexibility and
Hmm.
having the faith and recognizing that you're hearing differently.
Hmm.
Because I mean, I've been doing this a really long time. And it's
Hmm.
not that I always know what the tomorrow is going to be. I definitely do not. But I get some good clues. Okay. This is where you're
Hmm.
going to kind of be headed away, but then it's like, now it's like, oh, okay, I really don't know where I'm going. Are you gonna give me a little bit more info than that? And it's like, not yet.
We
Just
don't know where we're going. We just need to be ready. And
yeah.
the best way that we can get ready is to unburden ourselves with the baggage as much as we don't need. And physically, I love that. What is it? The joy. Ask if it brings you joy. If it doesn't bring you
Oh,
joy,
absolutely. Get rid of
yeah,
anything that does not bring you joy and that you don't want to move forward in your life with. Because why do you want to take all the stuff that has
right,
all that stuff with it?
right.
Let that stuff go. It may
If
bring
a
you joy in another point in time. It doesn't
if
have
a
to.
group of angels came down right now and said, "Would you like to come with us?" And then that's it. We need to be ready. And honestly, I would not rule anything out these days. I really do. I believe in miracles. I don't really think a group of angels is literally going to come down and summon us, but we could see something equally as miraculous and things happen, things coming from the sky, things like that.
All kinds.
And that are, and being able to communicate with beings much higher than ourselves, um, is a real possibility. And that's why we need to be ready. On that note, we need to go to break. So you gave your website one more time. Could you give it so people can actually check out your website while we're on the break?
Sure, judiweaver.com, Judi Weaver.com. And I've got all kinds of different trips coming up and all kinds of classes and all kinds of events. So come and visit me.
Speaking of events, you will be at Spirit Fest Jacksonville coming up too. And
Yes,
that's
I
just in a
will.
week and a half. And that's going to be a huge show. We, in the past years, have always been at a very small venue there in Jacksonville, kind of near downtown. We're now out west in the brand new fairgrounds, and it's a huge space. And you're going to be doing a very special spirit message.
Lions Gate Spirit
Yes,
Message,
which is
because we're doing it on the Lions Gate.
Yes, and this is the time to manifest things. So wherever you are, if you're in the southeast, I highly recommend you come to this show. Jacksonville is just a fun city anyway. So anyway, to check out more information, spiritfestusa.com. There's a tab for the Jacksonville show, and we're going to go to break, and we're going to come back and get into a lot more. So hang out, everybody.
Hello, friends. My name is David Trotter. I'm the founder and publisher of Awakened Magazine, and we are deeply honored to collaborate with Mary Ellen Popick, the Sanctuary Network, and Spirit Fest Expos. At Awakened Magazine, we are dedicated to amplifying the voices of conscious leaders, healers, and coaches as we all help awaken our world to love. We do that through our digital magazine. We release several interviews and numerous articles every single week at awakenedmagazine.com. We have a print magazine that comes out several times a year. We have a co-authored book series called Awakened Hearts that we've had multiple bestsellers and incredible authors joining us. And of course, we have our own expo right here in Southern California every year. Hey, if you haven't already checked it out, I encourage you to watch the interview that I did with Mary Ellen Popick. You can find it at awakenedmagazine.com. Just search Mary Ellen. It'll pop right up. You will love getting to know her and her backstory. And if you haven't already, get a free subscription to Awakened Magazine. You can find that at awakenedmagazine.com.
Florida has a great new option for healthy living. Our natural health expos were a hit last year, so 2026 brings more events around Florida. This special event offers health and wellness opportunities for people and pets. High quality experts in well-being, healing, anti-aging, and natural living. Plus, you'll find speakers, demonstrations, and much more. All details, lists of locations, and discounted admission can be found at naturalwellnessexpo.com. Join us for Spirit Fest, coming soon to a city near you. Spirit Fest is a metaphysical, holistic, and crystal expo featuring an amazing array of vendors, speakers, authors, artists, crystals, healers, psychic readers, and more. Spirit Fest is your chance to explore and connect with others of like mind. Get all details, including our upcoming locations up and down the East Coast, also discounted admission, and more at spiritfestusa.com. Our next event is January 10th and 11th with special guests and special presentations, including psychic explorer, medium Mark Anthony, and also historical researcher, explorer, and author Jim Vieira. More details are coming to our website soon, and we look forward to seeing you at Spirit Fest in 2026. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sanctuary for Mind, Body, and Spirit. We are live tonight and would love to hear your comments or questions. Reverend Dr. Judi Weaver is going to be channeling for us. It lets either in this segment or the next one, so hang out. Really interested to hear who comes through and what they have to say. But she is a highly regarded spiritual trance channel medium. And you've been going all around the world, literally. You lead your tours in these different sacred sites, which are amazing. And you are a rock star at Spirit Fest.
Always very popular. And I always tell people, "Where's Judi?" And I just said, listen for her laugh. It's just so infectious. But you can get sessions with Judi at Spirit Fest. We'll be in Jacksonville in about a week and a half. But I feel very blessed to have you because you are going and doing conferences all around the United States too. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So
I'm
we're,
I'm I'm honored and excited. Yes, I'll be actually presenting in late August in Glastonbury, England. Yeah, I know, so excited. Yeah, with Portal to Ascension, and then I've got guests that are joining me, and then we're gonna do Scotland, Ireland, and England tour.
mhm,
So, and I probably will end up going back and doing that. This one I'm doing a very, very small group, but because it's my first time. And
mhm,
so, and then I'll probably will do something that's a little bigger, but I don't like to do big groups anyway. Um,
mhm,
and then I'll be going out to San Diego in September. I'll
mhm,
be going to a Transcendence conference. So I'm excited to be going there. And then I
mhm,
will be actually going to Peru. So I've got that Peru trip, and still got room for a couple of folks. But today one of the things that we're really talking about is following the call of spirit.
right.
And Peru was not on my radar. It was not
Mhm,
a place I ever thought to ever go.
mhm,
But it was like I'm at this class and somebody else was going to Peru and I saw the flyer, and as soon as I saw the flyer it was like I felt the energy of the land. And again, of
mhm,
course, it was a picture of Machu Picchu, right? I
mhm,
mean, and these spaces on the earth that have such a high vibrational energy frequency, it was like, I have to go. I don't even know why I have to go or what I need to do, but I've got to show up.
mhm,
And then when you get to these places, it's like your soul has left the wisdom. We have charged the crystals. We are meeting these elders and these shaman, and they look at you, and it doesn't matter what language that you speak. They see your soul. They
mhm,
see the imprint of who you are, and they look at you, and the light codes and that wisdom exchange just automatically happens. Has
mhm,
nothing to do with verbiage, has everything to do with being in that high vibrational frequency that just allows for that whole amplification and that resonance that your body was
mhm,
ready to receive.
mhm,
And all the time people tell me, well, I'm called, but I'll just look at it online. And you can look at it online.
mhm,
There's all kind, you can do whatever you want to for studies. You can AI your way anywhere you want.
mhm.
But people who are really on the journey, you got to show up. That means
There's
that
a
you're,
real activations that take
yeah,
place when you actually go to the physical location because remember, time isn't just a place, or isn't just a thing, it's a place.
yes,
And you're going to where so many other things have happened, so where many other people, and again, look at where the indigenous people have been. And that was no accident that they were in Sedona and Machu Picchu and, and a lot of the different places like that too. And with Glastonbury, I think of, the Tuatha De Danann, in the Irish, the mythical legends who people say still live on the earth or live in the earth, basically, that they went underground. And I think that there's a lot more to that myth than people, I believe, well, that's a whole other conversation. They're definitely higher beings. Are they of the angelic realm or not? That's another show. Let's save that.
we'll save it for another show. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But exactly, the megalithic, stones that are there, they are all charged. How many crop circles have been in Glastonbury in the last 6 months? Oh my gosh, it's been a crazy number. And I'm like, I know I'm going to see one. I know I'm going to get into that energy vibration because it's going to be another connection. When I was just in Lilydale, like I said, another week or so ago, I'm in the little fairy place of wherever it is, and I'm just clicking pictures. And I got this really cool shot where you could actually see an oval portal that was in the air, and then you could actually see the swirl in the top. And it was like, oh, well, there you go. That's kind of cool. I didn't step into it at that moment in time. I didn't, but again, it's just so neat that our technology is able to capture this information and to be able to have it for us. But
Hmm.
even like Machu Picchu, Now, I've been a lot of times, right? And the last time that I went, the guide that was there was talking about how it really has now been reclassified as the original mystery school.
Mm,
And it was like, now I've been going a long time, but while I was there were all kinds of different scientists who were there doing studies, and that was back in 2020, when I was there. And so what they were finding at that point in time was they created a whole nother realm of what their belief was. And when you look at, Harry Potter, right? Where is the actual train at? It's at 9:30. And where do they go? They go to the mystery school. And where's the mystery school? They go on the Inca train. And all of that
mhm.
is true. And it's like, and when I was there and I'm walking up the hill, it was like, my first trip there, and these wonderful, incredible, it was the elders, all the different the current elder shaman or Pacos that were there doing the sun ceremony opening, because I was there, of course, during the spring solstice. And
Mhm.
so it was like they're going to that place, they're opening the gates, they're doing these different prayers, these different activations. And when you're in the land, when you're on that space, it takes you into these other dimensions of time and
Mhm.
resonancy that you're able to bring back into your timeline here for utilization and your growth going forward. It's
Mhm.
just absolutely magnificent.
Mhm. And what's going on now, truthfully and truly, that is making people feel so odd is we are now just more interdimensional than ever.
Yeah.
And and again, that is why some people are psychic that never were before, or were kind of really feeling disoriented, things like that. But that means that we are that much closer in new ways to being able to connect with the divine. So that's why, following the call of spirit, if you feel called to go to some of these locations, that literally may be what happened, because that's where you're going to be able to find that transformation or that activation or whatever. And or you may meet somebody on the trip. You just don't. And this was not a commercial for your tours, by the way.
No,
This
no,
show.
no. I know, I know, but
Yeah.
but that's the whole point of following the call of
Hmm.
spirit.
Hmm.
It's not like this was a plan. I
Right.
never knew I wanted to go, and I
Hmm.
had no clue what's going to happen to me when I went.
Yeah.
And it happens over and over and over. And I know huge things are going to happen to me. Like when I'm actually going on this, this tour to the three countries, Spirit's telling me, okay, you're going to extend your stay in Scotland. And I'm like, okay, for what?
Wow.
Where am I going?
Uh-huh.
What am I doing? Well, I'm not quite sure yet, but I had to change my airline ticket. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to wait and see what they tell me. But that's
Mm-hmm.
the part that I think most people are struggling with
Mm-hmm.
so much, is before we had a better idea of what to anticipate, what to project into the
Mm-hmm.
future. We
Mm-hmm.
do not have the same timeline expectation, and we don't know what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really about being in a space of trust, but it's also feeling into the energy vibration of those who are around us.
Yes.
Because when we're meeting that divine, when we're connecting to that higher consciousness, we're connecting to that same divine and higher consciousness of you, and you.
Right.
So we're recognizing all of them at the same time.
So if spirit is trying to give us a prompting, lead us in a certain direction, like, there's so many different ways that it can be done. All we need to be doing is paying attention. And we've had some funny sayings over the year. Sometimes, well, I think that was a sign, but I need a signier sign. That was really funny. That was something we used to say. But what I've always said was, you get such clear-cut signs that it's so obvious that spirit's trying to get your attention. And I said, short of a full-bodied apparition of a master appearing in the room in front of you, what else are you waiting for? And people, that's it. I just think that maybe our our conscious mind gets in the way and thinks, oh, this can't be what I think it is. This
It's
is
not
when
the
we,
right time. I'm not
Mhm.
really ready. Oh, I really need to get to the grocery store today. I can't be dealing with this right now.
Yeah. And we just give in. And it could be
Yeah.
something so small, that you pick up an extra something at the store and then either somebody at home needs it or, you end up giving it away as a gift. Just I can't even think of just all the little promptings and little things that, Spirit is trying to help you. And the aha moments that, wow, what a learning opportunity, or oh, I never thought of it that way. But if I hadn't just gone to this place or done it this way, I wouldn't have been able to view it from this perspective. Those are the signs that Spirit is giving us right now. And whether you call it your higher self or the angelic realm or our guides, but that's it. Spirit's totally on our side. So, what
And you have
other
a huge team. You got a huge team that's working with you always to be
what
able
are
to
some
support.
other signs can you think of that you've gotten or that some of your clients may have had?
So, for me, I'm stubborn. Okay. So I like to really know that I'll be honest, I'm strong-willed, I'm determined, I'm independent. And it's like, I need to make sure that this isn't just my brain. This is a real sign from somebody else. And so, oftentimes I will go ahead and find feathers. That's a big one, right? And
Hmm.
so this is a fun story. I'm getting off the ship in in Greece, and we're going to be going with our tour. And I've got 65 people on the tour. And I was talking to them about, looking for signs, right? And I said, and sometimes what you can see is a white feather. And I literally put my hand out and a feather fell into my hand.
Wow.
Literally
Hmm.
just manifested itself out of nothing.
Hmm.
And then I found three more feathers, and it was like these feathers are a fabulous sign. And for loved ones, oftentimes you'll get the dimes and you'll get the pennies, right? Pennies from
Hmm.
heaven, or you'll get the dimes, because you know that that's what it is. Animals coming into play
Hmm.
absolutely will be there. I mean, I had feathers fall out of pictures that were on the wall, and there's
Wow.
feathers on the ground underneath it. And I'm like, okay, because that was something that I knew was a big deal for me, right? Another big deal is hearing from the animals. So when I know I need to know something, I'm like, okay, so who needs to talk to me today? And I literally will have turtles knock on my front door. I mean, this
Hmm.
is not a normal thing for most people, but they show up on my
Hmm.
house at a regular basis, and they literally will be clonking onto the front door to
Hmm.
say, pack your bags, get ready. You have everything you need with you.
Hmm.
Just trust me, and I will be taking you wherever you need to go. So
Did
it's,
you, I'm sorry, did you see Disclosure Day?
I have not yet. I wanted to, but I still haven't. I know there's no reason for it. It's just it's a time thing, and me
It's
qualifying
going
myself to go
to,
there.
I think, be streaming on Disney, like in a week, I think. Um, but there's a big thing in there about the animals, and that was something that really, I don't, it certainly wasn't because that's been my understanding my whole life too, is that as we become closer to my mother would call it end times, but as we are getting closer to this new reality that I think that we are going to as we get higher and higher in the dimensional realms, that we are going to be getting more messages from animals, but not just in a, hey, pay attention type of a thing. Like when you see a turtle on your doorstep, you look it up and what's the spiritual meaning of a turtle, like you said, pack your
Right.
bag.
But when I went to Yosemite here, back in June, and when I was there, okay, so I work with all the different spirit animals, but with my shamanic work, right? And so I had seen the first animal that we saw, a bear, cross the road in front of us. So bear is always known for the West, for its strength and all of that. Saw so many different eagles that were in there. We had a golden eagle dive in front of the car to
Wow.
be, so I got my eagle representation three
Hmm.
times, not once, not twice, three times. Literally was parked right beside a coyote that
Wow.
was, let me just stare at it, and just to
Uh-huh.
be able to send that energy and that connection. Again, another animal that was there. And so it's like to see all of the different four direction animals that were just specifically there and nearby was just absolutely magnificent.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's about paying attention to. When I was just at Lilydale, this groundhog was right beside me. I'm not even kidding.
Hmm.
He was not even 5 feet away. And he looked at me, and then he kind of backed his butt up underneath the house and just laid his head down and went to sleep,
Hmm.
closed its eyes, because again, it felt my heart. It
Hmm.
knew I was okay. I ran into literally two mother deers and five babies, and
Hmm.
they just stood there and watched me.
Hmm.
They knew I was there. They could feel me. And that's what it is, moving into the animal kingdom, not as a competition, but as a respect. I see
Yes.
you. I understand you. I can learn from you. And please do learn from all of these animals, because they will
Hmm.
specifically provide you with their instinctual assets and knowledge.
Right.
You want to be able to hear better? Maybe you're connecting with that of a rabbit or a deer. You want to
Right.
be able to see better? Connect with the heart energy of an eagle or an owl. You want
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. So literally, that's what that you do when you're doing that shamanic work. You're working with the energies of the animals that helps to teach you how to become stronger and how to become a whole you, because
Mhm.
you have a greater understanding of more than you that is all of you.
The indigenous people, and it wasn't even that long ago, but they worked more in concert with the animals, like to hunt. And I don't know if you ever saw the movie Whale Rider. If you didn't,
Yep.
check it out. Really, really good. But like how they would use the different birds of prey to help them hunt. And it wasn't, they were just trained to, our dogs are now. And we certainly, communicate with the dogs and the cats. There's no two ways around that. But even these wild animals, it's a different relationship. But that's what you're doing, if even etherically, is communicating with them in that spirit. But that's a new way, to follow the call of spirit as well, is to learn about the different energies of those animals, and to do that as well. So I want to get into, let me see, we've got 10 minutes left in this segment. Let's wait to channel, I think, until the next segment.
Okay.
And then we can, when we come out after the break, we can kind of start with that. But I wanted to go back to what you were talking about, how that as we talked, the waters come online, and we knew, and then that was new. That so that not only is the water now holding the frequencies, that the crystals, and if you followed that in 2012, a lot of the ancient crystals that are the big, big, big ones came online and are able to assist the planet into ascending, just like, the other things that you were talking about. But the air. So you said air was going to be the next one to really kind
Air
of
is
come.
the month of July. So we're just coming out of the month of July here. Um,
Okay.
and air has been, again, it's going through, and I will say for myself, I ended up having all kinds of respiratory issues this month.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't figure out why I was having such respiratory issues. And
Mm-hmm.
now I've got it figured out, because again, we are living organisms, and as humans, there's nothing in us that stays the same. Everything is constantly changing and morphing and growing and expanding. We are an actual living organism. So we're constantly going through this metamorphosis process, which we have to be that living organism so that we can continue to grow and evolve as our external environment is going through these shifts and this evolution.
Mm-hmm.
It's changing the quality within the air resonance and how we're able to then utilize um, the necessary gases in our body and break it down. That's
Yeah.
part of the changes that's been taking place as well. Yeah.
I am an air sign, which always people just, I love, did they say, really? Are you sure? Sometimes they'll even say, and I said, yeah, because an air sign isn't just kind of blowing in the wind. It's also a hurricane, it's a tornado, and it's being flexible, it's being direct. And I can see that. We had in Punta Gorda, were you there the night? Did you stay late Friday night?
Um,
We
oh, the storm that came through?
Yeah.
I spent the night there. Yeah. And I knew that storm was coming. And I will tell you, I ended up having literally lightning came through the bedroom window of the hotel in Lilydale. And that was directly after that. The storms are magnificent, what's taking place these days.
And again, I'm woo, I can always find something spiritual or cool or esoteric about anything. But we were supposed to leave the center at 5 p.m. and about 4:45 it started raining sideways. It was lightning and thundering at the same time. We're right on the harbor there in Charlotte Harbor, and I was just sitting there watching it. So leaving was not an option. We ended up leaving 45 minutes late. No one could go outside because
Two tornadoes went by
yeah, they
two
did.
miles from us.
They
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But I just sat there for a little while. This one fella had a dog. There was two dogs that were there. One lady had literally a raincoat for the dog, and her dog was upset enough, but she did brave going outside. But the other dog was so scared. Her owner had to lay on the floor with her. She was just so scared of the lightning. So I was sitting there at the window just watching it, and I said, "This isn't a regular storm. Something's happening here, not necessarily just for Spirit Fest but just in general." And I was just kind of watching the air and the water being connected like this. And that was kind of a cool opportunity to be able to experience that too. So that might be something people could do. I do not recommend sitting on your porch during a lightning storm. But at the same time, if you can experience the wind, experience the water, especially
It's
together.
such a purification and a
Hmm.
transition of what's
Hmm.
really coming in. And that's the other thing. Wherever you go, whenever you're traveling, take your shoes off the first thing when you get wherever you're going and let your feet touch the ground
Hmm.
because you need to let your physical body alchemize with the energetic resonance and whatever that environment is. You have to be able to connect with it.
Right.
So let your physical body and really be in that space of breath that you're bringing it in and you're exhaling, and then you're
Hmm.
bringing it up and then you're exhaling. Let yourself then be in that space of that total exchange so that then you don't have to have the issues of really getting into if it's altitude issues or time issues, but if you just let yourself move into the complete connection of the land wherever you are, then it
Hmm.
really helps you, again, being intentionally and attentive to, so that it really allows you to alchemize and to be in a fresh space again.
Yeah, this is advanced stuff, everybody. I mean, this is really it. It sounds like it's no big deal. It's you're not just taking your shoes off and being one with the earth just to feel better. This is really a communication tool. It's how you're going to be tuning in. And then once you are tuning into that frequency, and again, raising your body, raising your etheric field, and you're going to be able to tune in into the higher dimensions more so than ever. And I also feel like it does make you feel good in a way. When you're in that centered sacred space, it is a lot easier to offload the stuff that we don't need.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do it at the end of a day, especially if you've had a day, you can do it, but when you can just find that place and center and just really connect with spirit, it's you can do a lot more work, I think, in that place. And there's places, although you don't have to go to a mountaintop to do it. There's sacred places everywhere in the United States
I know
or
I'm going to be doing Sedona in January and I'll be doing Mount Shasta in August next year. So
wow.
I'm going to do a couple of American spaces next year. So I'm excited about that too.
Sedona's life changing. If
Yeah.
I had never been before I went in May. But it just, there's just, I can't even really put it into words, but I can definitely see why the indigenous people had that as a sacred space. And
Yeah.
Florida's got its own too.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, in all the Atlantean cities, there was Atlantean cities all over the world, but the capital, I believe, was the Bahamas. And then there was the concentric rings, and then Florida would have been one of the outer rings where the hunters and gatherers were. And then you look at the next closest Atlantean city would have been Mexico City, and then same thing. And then they would have kind of come around. The earth was, different. The oceans were much lower then. So Florida has its own sacred spaces, and obviously the indigenous people have sacred sites all over the world. So it's fun to see where those were as well. So, all right, we are just about ready to go to break again. And if you could give are you on social media as well?
Oh yes, I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok and I really put out daily messages, so it's really nice. Some
Oh,
are inspirational, some are educational, and others are okay. Come and see me wherever I'm off and wandering too. So but it's really nice to have a chance to you know that you're going to get a touch in every day. So and
nice.
I have a fabulous online community as well that's called Heartbeat. And it's because people kept telling me all the time, I'm so alone, I'm so alone. And it's like, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
And because we are all on our own journeys. And
Hmm.
oftentimes what happens is that then we don't have the same connections with our friends and family members. And so it does
Hmm.
become more lonely, but it's because you're really tapping into a new you. So you're just upgrading your friends to become your new family.
And that's another reason that we do Spirit Fest is to be able to
Yeah,
connect people. There's so many people you can talk to. You can talk to all the vendors, even if you're not going to buy anything. That's completely fine. That's what they're there for, is to give information, introduce you to new things, and then there's speakers that you can learn from. But it's community. It really is. Um,
absolutely.
Everybody
They're
that's
our
there.
traveling tribe. We
Hmm.
love to see our people. It's like, oh my God, I know people all over the world. And it's like I just show up and then I know more people there who
Yeah.
really are. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Spirit Fest, spiritfestusa.com. There's a tab for Jacksonville. Also on there is the list of all the shows for the rest of the year and about half of the shows for next year. We've already got the dates posted
Ooh,
on there too.
awesome.
So
Awesome.
yeah. Okay, we're headed to break and then we are going to experience some channeling when we get back. So stick with us, everybody.
Absolutely.
Hello, friends. My name is David Trotter. I'm the founder and publisher of Awakened Magazine, and we are deeply honored to collaborate with Mary Ellen Popick, the Sanctuary Network, and Spirit Fest Expos. At Awakened Magazine, we are dedicated to amplifying the voices of conscious leaders, healers, and coaches as we all help awaken our world to love. We do that through our digital magazine. We release several interviews and numerous articles every single week at awakenedmagazine.com. We have a print magazine that comes out several times a year. We have a co-authored book series called Awakened Hearts that we've had multiple bestsellers and incredible authors joining us. And of course, we have our own expo right here in Southern California every year. Hey, if you haven't already checked it out, I encourage you to watch the interview that I did with Mary Ellen Popick. You can find it at awakenedmagazine.com. Just search Mary Ellen. It'll pop right up. You will love getting to know her and her backstory. And if you haven't already, get a free subscription to Awakened Magazine. You can find that at awakenedmagazine.com.
Florida has a great new option for healthy living. Our natural health expos were a hit last year, so 2026 brings more events around Florida. This special event offers health and wellness opportunities for people and pets. High quality experts in well-being, healing, anti-aging, and natural living. Plus, you'll find speakers, demonstrations, and much more. All details, list of locations, and discounted admission can be found at naturalwellnessexpo.com. Join us for Spirit Fest, coming soon to a city near you. Spirit Fest is a metaphysical, holistic, and crystal expo featuring an amazing array of vendors, speakers, authors, artists, crystals, healers, psychic readers, and more. Spirit Fest is your chance to explore and connect with others of like mind. Get all details, including our upcoming locations up and down the East Coast, also discounted admission, and more at spiritfestusa.com. Our next event is January 10th and 11th with special guests and special presentations, including psychic explorer, medium Mark Anthony, and also historical researcher, explorer, and author Jim Vieira. More details are coming to our website soon, and we look forward to seeing you at Spirit Fest in 2026.
evening, everybody. We are live tonight with spiritual trance channel medium, Dr. Reverend Dr. Judi Weaver.
Thank you.
We are been talking about the call of spirit and the different ways that spirit gets our attention in order to guide us and lead us as we are ascending now as a planet and as beings, as we're becoming more transdimensional, experiencing new things. We're experiencing things in a way, we're seeing things in a way that we've never done before. And this really is a very interesting time in history. And we were saying, Judi and I, we've been doing this for quite some while. And this is definitely the first time that we have ever experienced things like this, where not only do we seem divided as a world, but really that chaos is actually bringing more great order, which I think is really cool. Again, another show. But I thought it would be nice to channel. We're not exactly sure who's going to come through, but I wanted to talk about the difference between the different beings that you channel, because there's quite a few, you know, from the Galactic Council to the different ones. So can you speak to the different different energies that you've got coming through?
Sure, sure. So again, every single energy that comes through is of a different dimension, frequency, and vibration. When I first started trancing, it was, pretty much God source, angels. And then it really evolved and changed. And then it continued to change where now I actually keep my eyes open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop into trance and I'm going to let the different guides who are going to come through to provide some information about it. So I would expect, and I'm going to plan a solid 15 minutes for this. Okay.
Mhm.
So, because I really want to allow several of them the opportunity to really come through and to speak and give you some information. So here we go.
All right.
The first channel who's coming in today is the spirit guide trainer. That is right. It is important for each of you to know that you all have access to your own spiritual teams. And it's also important for you to know that each of your members of your teams are continuing their own ascension process, their
Mhm.
own growth process, their own unique developmental changes and experiences. Because as all are going through that evolutionary process, they are teaming with you as part of their training too.
Mhm.
Is that not such a beautiful blessing? They have chosen you and you have chosen them because you have the same soul goal missions.
Mhm.
Therefore, you can always be somewhere towards that journey on track of where you're going to, and you're never alone. These
Mhm.
are important things for each of you to know.
Mhm.
But it is also just important for you to know that you will also be working with many other guides and team members through the process as you're continuing to grow and evolve. You may have different specific guides that are going to come in at times of your life when
Mhm.
you are going through great changes and transitions, and or you're moving into spaces of expertise and you need to have the next level of teacher and wisdom that's going to be there to support you through that process. The same within the angelic realm. Within the angelic realm, there are many different realms of angels, different kinds, different vibrations and frequencies and teachings. And they too, your guardian angels, are the same as what I am speaking of your spirit guides. They chose you and you chose them because they also are going through that evolutionary process. Everything is ascending and evolving,
Mhm.
and it is required to be in conjunction and partnership with you. with your hearts, with your minds, with your teachings, with your free will, with that expressiveness of love and the expansiveness of the generosity of your hearts. You are filled with such compassion and empathy. And within the diversity of all of that incredible emotional resonance of you, that is how the truth and the education and the whole and the communication and the ascension can come into fruition. Now, let me go ahead and change, but it has been my esteemed honor to speak with you this day. Many blessings.
Thank you.
I have Archangel Shamuel stepping in. I wanted to speak this day. Good day, my dear one. This is such a beautiful time, and it's a good question for you to understand and to ask about. Individuals often get confused well, it's not necessarily confused. They just don't understand the full depth of the differences within the various realms of angelic beings. There are many different, what you would call species, correct? We hold different types of roles. There are some angels who have gone and had lifetimes on earth. Now, the archangels, we have never had a lifetime on earth, and our sole purpose is to support humanity as a whole. Our entire point and purpose of our existence is to be here to support the evolution and the ascension of each of you into that higher capacity and capability of growth for each of you to have access to. And that is essential for you to know. Loved ones who have passed are often called angels, and they are also holding a role of lovingness to and towards those of you who are continuing your life presence. There are other angels who are helping to prepare, helping to move and to align, helping to support transitions of events that will unfold in your lives, of circumstances, of bringing you into new levels and spaces and places of education and awareness and access. You will connect with, and sometimes you actually will be saved by an angel that comes in. If you have a greater purpose in this life, and you have done something possibly irresponsible and foolish, which has endangered your life, well, then we may interfere. We may come in at that moment in time to pluck you from that space and or provide you with a second opportunity and a choice to come back into the earth so that you can continue the teaching and or you can continue being the support of wherever you are. Whenever anyone has had a near-death experience, though, they will never have the same life again because they have seen what is beyond. They never fear what is waiting beyond. It is sometimes very depressing for them to come back into the physical body and to have to deal with the emotionality and the density and the intensity of all of that emotional resonance and the currency, which is sometimes feeling suffocating for the soul, because you get squished back into this tiny little vessel. And sometimes it's not feeling all healthy because you're coming back into a damaged vessel. And you may then have to go through much physical therapy to build yourself back. But within that space, once you've had the near-death experience, the vibration and the accessibility that you have to this new frequency is readily available for you always. And that's what you bring in. You're able to go up to this higher level to capture a different vibration that you're able to anchor back into the earth. And others will see that in you. They will recognize you right away and say, oh, you had A, B, and C that happened to you. They can see that vibration and that more life accessibility through that connection of your near-death experience, but truly it was the experience of more than for you to have all of that life brought back into this particular life as well.
Mm-hmm.
The angels are beautiful, loving beings. And I'm not saying that we don't challenge you, because that is our job as well. You need to learn, you need to experience, you need to be pushed out of and off through situations that sometimes you need to learn from and through.
Mm-hmm.
We're not leaving you alone through the situation, but we're not going to let you remain stagnant, because the stagnation is what truly it smothers the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Where it no longer wants to live and flourish, and it must be kept in that state of curiosity and growth and connectivity. And that is very true with your physical bodies. Oftentimes when individuals, what you would call retire, they have spent their lives working for A, B, and C, and then they don't know what to do with themselves. So they immediately start focusing on their health. And they're watching and they're over analyzing, and they're hyper focused about little incidents that then they create into larger complications, because they have completely changed what they were focusing on. You need to have purpose, and your purpose is generally of service. How are you willing to be of service for the betterment of? But first you must be the best you, so that you can always provide the best service from you to and towards anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the truth?
It is, yes.
Over and over, the caretakers care for the others, and then they demise because they have not taken the care of self.
Mm-hmm.
You must caretake of self first, so the best you is there to care for the others as well. Now, we do want to go ahead and to bring in a galactic representation as well, so that you have an opportunity to hear about those connections and that information that is being and coming more readily available for each of you to have access to. One moment, please.
Wonderful. Thank you.
The Galactic Council of Light here. Good day to you, precious one.
Good day, and thank you. Welcome.
Oh, it is such an exciting time for us. There are many of you who are feeling so confused by all of the trauma and the drama and the anger and the angst and the uncertainty of what is unfolding. But it's so important for you to know that it's time to create new. And you cannot create new when there are solid foundations that are established. There's no place to start from. There's no place to add to and to take away from and to recreate into a higher resonance that's available for all of you to. As you are moving collectively, which is why I wanted to come in, I am part of a collective of 12. It is not that one voice is more than the other, because it is the consciousness of each all working unified together.
Mm-hmm.
The vocalization remains the same, even though the information is coming from different resources, all to and through for the betterment that is available for each of you. This comes from that accelerated resonance of wisdom and connection within that higher consciousness. It is always knowing the truth of what is being seen and spoken and connected with. You cannot be in falsehood when you're telepathically communicating. And everyone knows what is. It is each of you now are moving into a higher vibration so that you are receiving the actual connections and the communications. Now you're trying to learn how to interpret because the definitions are different for each of you. It will often be related back to the experiences and the interactions that you have had, because we try so diligently to support each of you in the energetic frequency of where you are. We are always willing and excited to push individuals a little bit, but you cannot overwhelm them, because there will be a collapse then within the nervous system and within the mental capacity to maintain and to continue, where then it completely shuts down as it has been overloaded with such information that it cannot possibly fathom and comprehend. So therefore, it has to be done on regular intervals of a higher resonance that's going to continue to elevate within that frequency. The difference is within the human patterning, it all comes within the free will capacity. So therefore, it is essential for each of you to be partnered with the process too, or it cannot continue, which is why it is so important for all of you to be aware, to pay attention to the signs and the signals, to feel into the impressions of information, to ask questions, to seek out the answers that resonate within that same vibration of you. It is not that you are going to blend with every single vibration. You are not intended to. Because what you are moving into is that resonance, which is the highest and the best for you, intentionally for you, which is unique to you and not going to be the same as everyone else that's around you. That's what makes it so difficult. Here on earth, you have been taught, follow the leader, follow the leader, follow the leader, follow the directions, follow this, follow that. And what we are saying is we are throwing away all of the directions, and we are encouraging you to feel into and to follow the true inspirations and the connections that you have access to, and trust into, and to believe what that is. But that takes your time, your practice, it takes dedication, and it takes you being in that as a willing participant to be able to support that process as well. Does that make sense to you, dear one?
It does. The word trust is what I wrote down. That's, we need to trust in spirit. We need to trust in ourselves.
Individuals get so caught up with that's my imagination. And imagination is what? It's images and information that's being processed in its own unique capacity and capability and interpreted however you choose that to be. No one will ever have the same imaginative capacity, the same colors, the same tones, the same vibrations. All are unique to you. It allows you an opportunity to process and to expand, to brainstorm, and to move into new realms of curiosity and to problem solve within new spaces of possibilities, and or to create. Because when you go into those imaginative spaces and places, it gives you a place to play, and it gives you a place to experience within on an energetic level. And once you move into that energetic space of that experience, and then you activate it with some type of an emotion, well, now you are changing it into a reality that you now are vibrationally attuning to bring into your reality. That is what so many of you are recognizing. You're instantaneously manifesting over and over. Be careful what you think. It might be more than what you bargained for, I think is what the term is that you use, is it not?
Nice. Yes. Yes. So we need to be careful and be dreaming big.
Dreaming big. And don't just think of individuals often, I must hit the lottery, I must win the money. It isn't about the money. It is about what you want to be able to do with the money. The money is just a tool. What is it that you want? Oh, they're sending the notes, the 5 minutes to the end. We must be done then. My goodness, my goodness. I thank goodness that I'm able to read as well. So it has been my esteemed honor to be with you this evening. I do hope that you have enjoyed these transmissions of energy frequencies. Blessings to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, that felt really, that flew.
Yeah. Yeah. That really did. That was really, really profound. So thank you very much.
Well, I have to watch the recording. I don't know. Anyway, it felt good. I'm nice and hot, so I know it was there. So there we go. Yeah, yeah. So good, 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 good.
Yeah, it really, there's just there, everything is just right at our fingertips now. We just have more opportunity than ever to really just be of our highest vibration, to really elevate ourselves. And I know some people feel like it's just hard to get out of the 3D, especially when you've got a family, if you've got a spouse or children, or you go to work every day. It just don't even worry about how it's going to be. You just be your vibration, you just be your frequency, and spirit will take care of the rest. Really, it's just gonna, sometimes we do things, find stuff falls away as we get to a higher vibration because it gets replaced with other things too. Don't be alarmed, don't worry. Everything is in its divine time and will happen exactly like it's supposed to.
And push yourself. Push
Mm-hmm.
yourself and try new things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that's so wonderful when you're breaking apart the old is that, oh, well, now what else do I want to do? What else can I
Mm-hmm.
choose to? How else do I want to explore and to expand it into a new for me too?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. So we've only got just a few minutes here, but again, Spirit Fest Jacksonville, you can meet Judi in person. Get a reading if you want to, because you do mini readings at the
Yep.
show, right? All day, every day. But you were doing a live channeling included with admission Saturday morning at 11 a.m., specifically for the Lionsgate, which is August 8th. That's 8/8. And that is a wonderful portal for us to create new things. And again, I can see the power of it. We do an opening circle before every show Saturday morning for all of the vendors. We get together, and gosh, sometimes there's 100 of us. And that is really the time just to create bigger, better. And that's what we're doing. We just want to lift the planet up. We want to give people the resources for them to be able to, to create whatever, and finding that connection to the divine. So you're a big part of that, Judi. And thank you very much for
Oh,
all you
thank
do
you.
for
Thank you.
everybody.
I appreciate it. And I really invite people to come and to see me, come to my
Mhm.
website, judyweaver.com. I've got wonderful trips. I've got this Peru that's coming up in October. We're going to the sacred lands. I'm telling you, this is so powerful. Holding
Yeah.
ceremonies, connecting. Sedona, Arizona in January. Next year, August is going to be, going out to Mount Shasta. I've got all kinds of classes and series.
Mhm.
It's just able to be here on a regular basis for all of you to have access to. So,
Yeah. So check out our website, judyweaver.com, and it's Judi. Judyweaver.com, more information there. And then on the I've got on the speakers list your website's Heart for Souls, with the
yes.
four being the number
Yep.
four.
Yep. And
Um,
and that is true. The website is also Heart for Souls as well. Yeah.
okay, okay,
Yeah, and it's the Heart for Souls Heartbeat. We all have several domain names. I just don't know
right,
whichever one you find it easier. It doesn't matter.
right. All right, and then you can find all of our details, spiritfestusa.com. Look for the Jacksonville tab, but all of our shows are on the homepage, and it's time for us to go. Thank you so much for everyone for being with us tonight. All of the great comments that we got throughout the show. Thank you. And Judi, thank you so much for spending this evening. And I do look forward to having you back again before long.
All right. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. Come and visit me. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me here on the Sanctuary Network. Tune in every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Transformation Network as we gather to share stories, wisdom, and practices that remind us of something essential. Sanctuary isn't just a place you go, it's a space you create in your heart, your home, and your daily life. I hope today's conversation sparks something in you, a sense of belonging, a new idea, or simply a reminder that you are not alone on this journey. If this touched you, please share it with someone who could use a little light. Together, we can grow this circle of sanctuary and inspire a ripple of healing around the world. And don't forget, the journey continues at spiritfestusa.com, thesanctuarynetwork.com, and naturalwellnessexpo.com. And of course, every week right here on Transformation Network. Until next time, may you be well, may you be inspired, and may you live fully in sanctuary.